Hi, extensions, not a wig, and this is a cat. Before I say anything, I'm just gonna say this is an adult piercing. It's not intimate, it can be intimate, but it's an adult piercing because dermals are implants. So today's video is the long-awaited dermal video that I've been getting a lot of comments about. I mentioned that I have dermals one time, and y'all have been demanding a video about them. So this is the video. I'm getting my last dermal removed tomorrow, and tomorrow is probably gonna be a few days ago because I'm posting this video after I get it removed. So I got my dermals pierced 2 years ago, and I've had issues with one of them that I swear to God I have only had for 3 months in these past 2 years. It's been a wild journey, and I'm gonna explain why it's been such an interesting journey. So I'm just gonna say this. I got my dermals pierced very low on my hips, and since they're so low, I've been having such issues with them, and this is my fault. This is not the piercer's fault. She showed me the dots of where she wanted them placed on my hips, and I looked at them, and in my head I was like, those are so low, but like I didn't say anything. I was just like, they're very low, and she was like, you wanted hip dermals, right? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, that's typically where they're placed. So I was like, well, she's the piercer, maybe she knows what she's doing. I'm just her canvas. So I was like, okay. So she pierced them, and I loved them. I was like, oh my God, they literally suit my body so much. And since I've had like on and off like insecurity about my body, I could feel my confidence immediately spike. I was like, whoa, these are so pretty. I'm so sorry about the dust in my room. You can see it flying. Yeah, so I was like, whoa, these are so pretty, and I loved them. And I want to say 4 days after I got them pierced, I started having issues with one of them, and that was on my left side. I could see that it was like starting to burrow a little bit into my skin, and I was just like, so I started like pressing it upward whenever I cleaned it to see if it could help, and it did not help whatsoever. On my right side, I saw that it was pierced higher on my body. Like I could see the bar very little whenever I got home, and I was like, oh my gosh, she messed up the right side. Like it's gonna reject so quickly. But I was in the wrong. It's actually the left side that I had issues with this entire time. So 2 weeks after I got my dermals pierced, I could immediately tell that the left side of my body was like completely swallowing the dermal, and I had to get it removed. 2 weeks after getting it pierced. It happened that fast. So this entire time, I've had my right side pierced, and I never got it re-pierced. But after I got my left side removed, I re-pierced it. I got it redone in January of 2020. You can count the months for that. I waited quite a long time. I wanted to see how my body would heal after getting my dermals removed, and it healed pretty okay. I want to say the scar went from turning pink to like completely skin color within 2 months of healing.
What is that?
So I got my dermal re-pierced, and I could feel my body, like I felt a lot better about my body. I had my dermal redone for 2 months, and then after the 2 months, it literally got ripped out. It got ripped out because of my underwear. Yeah, it like turned like this way, and my underwear completely went underneath the dermal and ripped it out. It did not hurt, but it felt like a lot of pressure. I'm shocked that it didn't hurt. I literally felt no pain. I started crying though because of how much pressure I felt, but I didn't feel pain. So I'm gonna say the pros and cons of having dermals. There's actually more cons for me because of the placement. I'm gonna say the cons first, and then I'm gonna say the pros. Before I say anything, I'm just gonna say this is an adult piercing. It's not intimate. It can be intimate, but it's an adult piercing because dermals are implants. They aren't like, they don't go through the body. They aren't like on the surface. Okay. This is what a dermal looks like for the jewelry. So you see this top part, and this is what goes inside of your skin. So from the front, it looks like just a gem, and you just see a gem. You don't see anything else. So the cons of dermals is they get hooked on things quite easily. I don't know about lingerie because I don't wear much lingerie, and I'm saying this for girls or guys if you wear lingerie. I don't know about lingerie because I don't wear it, but I do know that if your underwear is high, there's no issues, and this is specifically for hip dermals. If you are wearing high underwear, it's not an issue, but if you wear low underwear, your underwear can slip directly under the dermal, like the top of it, and it can pull it forward or like tilt it a little bit, and it hurts so bad. Like, you don't feel it at first, but once you start to feel the dermal being pushed upward, it can hurt so bad, like so bad. And you can normally feel it. You can feel the pressure of it, but whenever you pull your underwear downward and you can feel the release of the dermal like being pushed upward, it will start to ache. And normally whenever my dermal is being pushed upward, I push it down just so it can like go back to where it was sitting prior, and it will hurt. Like, it will hurt quite a bit. Whenever your body is rejecting the dermal, it can itch, or if it's being embedded, it will itch like so bad, and you don't want to itch it, because if you itch it, you can pull your dermal out, or you can actually make the embedding worse. I never itched my dermal whenever it was being embedded into my skin, but I did clean it and I did try and save it. But once your body is embedding a piercing, there's nothing you can really do but remove it. And it's the same way with rejection. I can't talk. Whenever your body is rejecting your piercing, there's nothing you can really do but remove it. Like, you can try your absolute hardest, but it will still reject it. Like, there's nothing you can do. And I've never dealt with rejection with any piercing, which is shocking because I've been pierced 15 times and I've never had rejection. But rejection is more common with surface piercings, and the only surface piercing I've had is dermals. I just went on a tangent and I was doing my pros and cons. So, another con that I have is since dermals can get attached to things easily, they can also get ripped out easily. Like, the dermal on my left side got ripped out because I was wearing underwear that got hooked underneath it, and it literally ripped, or it didn't rip, but it popped. I could see the dermal foot on one side. Not everybody can get dermals, so you have to be at a certain age and you have to have enough skin to grab onto the dermal feet. You have to wear certain clothing whenever you have dermals, especially if they're on your hips. Like, you can't really wear denim pants, especially if they have lining on the inside, because your dermal can get hooked onto one of the lining of the denim pants. Or what I've noticed, if you have dermal piercings on your hips that are pierced low like mine, hi, these are my pants. They can attach to this little bump right here on the denim pants, and it can pull it downward, or it can pull it upward if your pants are starting to sag and it gets hooked onto the inside of this. So it's like either like pulling down or pulling up. It sucks, and I wish dermals didn't do that because I love dermals so much. dogs and cats can also rip your dermals out. Like if your dog has a jumping habit, their claws can hook onto the dermal and pull it down, and it could get popped out or ripped out. My cat Sebastian, he stepped on the dermal on my right side, and the dermal literally was so sensitive for 2 days. Like I got out of the shower after he stepped on my dermal, and my towel lightly grazed against the dermal, which normally doesn't upset it, but it hurt so bad. Like it felt like it was about to get ripped out, and like whenever I was like touching it to make sure it was okay, it was literally wiggly. And that has never happened in the past 2 years that I have had my dermals. It has never been that it's never been that sensitive, other than whenever I first got it pierced. So it felt like it was trying to reject out of my body, and I was like so freaked out. I like wore a band-aid for 3 days after, and the second day it was still the same, but on the third day it felt like it was like going back into healing, and I was just like, what? Like it felt like my entire healing process just like flipped for like a whole like month. Another con is like if you have conservative family like me, they're always like, why did you get those pierced? Like, and like it doesn't really bother me because they can't see my dermals because they're under my clothes. So I was just like, it's not like my septum piercing where it was like blatantly obvious, but like even that, they didn't question why I got it, they just kind of looked at me weird. But like with dermals, like my grandmother and like my grandparents are just always like, why did you get those pierced? Like it doesn't make sense, who's gonna see them? And I'm just like, well, first of all, you can see them with your bathing suit, and whenever you're taking a shower, you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, ooh, look at those. But like other than that, it's like, who else is gonna see them unless they're like on your collarbone or like in your cheeks or on your chin? Or some people get them on, like, if they don't want a tragus piercing, they'll get it right here, or they'll get it right here. Other than that, hip piercings are just like, no one's really gonna see them except for you, your shower, and your partner. So, okay, on to the pros. You can get dermals anywhere, just like I said. You can get them on your collarbone, you can get them on your wrist, you can get them on your face, you can get them behind your ears. Anywhere that you have skin, you can get them. The most common places that I've seen dermals is either on your cheek right here, on your collarbone, like some people get like 2 here, or 1 here, or people get 2, or people get them in the middle, like right here. I've also seen sternum dermals. I was gonna get sternum dermals at first, but like, another pro is they can complement any outfit that you're wearing. Like if you're going swimming and you have your dermal showing, it's just like, ooh, look at her, she cute, she got gems on her body. Or like him, he got gems on his body. I haven't seen guys with dermals that much. So if you're a guy and you have dermals, please comment below, tell me where they are, because I don't really see guys with them that often, unless they're like here. Like, do y'all get them anywhere else? Please tell me in the comments. They can spike your confidence like real quick. Like whenever I got my dermals, I was very insecure about my weight and everything, because I'm pretty skinny. But like after I got my dermals, I was just like, I want to show everyone, like I will show anyone my dermals. So it's like my confidence is like whoop, and I'm just like, I love them so much. I'm so sad that I'm not gonna have dermals, like literally so sad, like oh my god. Another pro is the people that do like dermals literally will hype you so much about having dermals, or people that are curious about dermals will, for one, they will hype you up for having dermals, and 2, they ask you questions and they're just like, can I see them? And I don't know, since I have dermals, I literally want to show everybody my dermals. So it's like people who have dermals are so excited to show other people, I've noticed. Like, if someone is like, can I see your dermals? They're like, oh, all right, and then they show them. It's like, it's a different kind of piercing. So that's another pro. It's a different kind of piercing that not a lot of people have, and the people that do have them, they're pretty knowledgeable in piercings. Like, I've noticed that. I have noticed that. I can't really think of any other pros and cons. Like, it's kind of like to the point. Like, if you have dermals, you are literally so cool, and like, yeah. If you have any other pros and cons, please comment below. Like, tell me, please. I was gonna make this like a 2-day type of video where it's like I have 2 days put together, but I literally am almost at 30 minutes. So I did say it was gonna be a long video. I will make a video about removing dermals after this, because I have gotten one dermal removed that was embedded in my body, and I'm gonna have a second video that's talking about just removing just a classic dermal. So I'm gonna have those two together in one. And I can also talk about my experience getting the dermals. I might record that after this. So if I look the same in 2 videos, it's just, I look good today, dude. Okay.